Welcome to PM Movie Recaps. Today's pick is a crime and thriller of 2012, Confession of Murder. If you're ready, let's enjoy the video. Choi Hyung-gu is a detective who had been in charge of hunting down a serial killer who claimed the lives of 10 women from 1986 to 1990. He chased the killer and tried to hunt him down, but lost him after a fierce fight. The killer had hidden in the dark before suddenly came out to stab him almost to his death. However, the killer didn't kill Choi right away. He chose to leave a permanent scar on Choi's face and taunted Choi to catch him if he could. Choi had shot the killer in the shoulder before he vanished in the dark. In 2005, Choi became an alcoholic since his failure to solve the cases has haunted him. One day, he received a goodbye call from Young Hyun-sik, a family member of one of the victims. Choi rushed to his apartment, saw Young throw himself off a roof and land through the windshield of a passing bus. 2 years later, Choi is alerted to the news that a man named Lee Do-sok has released a book I Am the Murderer, claiming responsibility for the murders that happened 17 years ago. His book contains detailed descriptions of the murders, and he even displays a wound in his shoulder where he says Choi shot him, with the bullet still lodged there. His book has become a bestseller because of his charming looks and his claims of repentance for his crimes. Lee stages a public visit to the house of one of the victim families to beg for forgiveness, and even visits Choi at his precinct. As the media frenzy surrounding Lee increases, some family members of the victims gather together to plot their revenge. They are led by Han Ji-soo, whose daughter Kang Soo-yeon was kidnapped and killed many years ago. The plan starts when Jong Gu-kim, the husband of one of the victims, pretends to be a cleaner and releases snakes into Lee's hotel swimming pool during his daily swim, resulting in him getting bitten. The other family members, Gang Suk and Do Hyuk, pretend to be a paramedic to come pick up Lee to the hospital. While moving Lee to the car, they bump into the real paramedic team. Amid confusion over the situation, Gang Suk and Do Hyuk reveal themselves and kidnap Lee, who is still unconscious. Lee's security team chases Gang Suk and Do Hyuk's car. Meanwhile, Choi gets informed that Lee is kidnapped. On the way, Choi comes across the car that is used to kidnap Lee. Lee's security team and Choi chase after the group of kidnappers, but they manage to get away. Choi recognizes who the kidnappers are, but refuses to reveal his suspicions. He is out by himself to track down where Lee is being held. Once Choi gets Lee back, he leaves Lee in a motel room with a note telling him to not make a fuss of the incident if he values his life. At the hospital, Lee tells the media that the kidnappers are a group of his fans. Their attractions to him goes a little bit too far and for that he will not press any charges on them. A television station then invites Choi and Lee to be on a debate show to discuss the case. Gang Suk, a daughter of one of the victims, decides to head to the station to kill Lee when he comes out of the studio. During the show, a man calling himself Jay calls in to speak to Lee, and reveals that he knows many personal facts about Choi. Jay then drops a bombshell, saying that he is the real killer. Choi then goes to trace the call. While Lee himself is leaving the studio, Gang Suk is waiting outside to kill him from the opposite building, but a weapon hits Lee's shoulder instead. Lee is taken to the hospital again. The phone call is traced to Choi's mother's house, where Jay has left a videotape containing footage of the 11th victim Soo-yeon being tied up and later killed. It is then revealed that Soo-yeon is Choi's girlfriend. Upon analyzing the contents of the tape, Choi calls for a press conference to tell the public that despite all this, it cannot be determined whether Lee or Jay is the killer. Lee continues to insist that he is the real killer, and another television debate is arranged between him, Choi and Jay to settle the matter once and for all. The debate draws thousands of protesters and fans, as well as Han Ji-soo, who carries a pen filled with snake venom, intent upon using it on the real killer. Jay arrives and it immediately becomes apparent that he is the real killer, as he has arranged for a camera crew to be led to the remains of his last victim, Soo-yeon. Confronted with this, Lee then opens up the truth. He admits that he is not the real killer, and also not the person who wrote the book. In fact, it is Choi who wrote the book in an attempt to flush out the real killer, using his own detailed knowledge of the crimes. Lee turns out to be Young Hyun-sik, who worked together with Choi to fake his own death and who underwent plastic surgery to assume a new identity. Although surprised at the elaborate scheme, Jay claims that Choi cannot do anything to him, as the statute of limitations has long expired. Choi then plays the tape of Soo-yeon, revealing that a radio broadcast in the background proves that the footage was shot almost to that exact date in 1992, and that in fact he still has 14 minutes until the statute of limitations is truly expired. Jay then admits that he kept Soo-yeon with him for 2 years, and that when he finally decided to kill her, she claimed to be carrying his child in the hope that he would spare her. This enrages Choi so much that he attempts to kill Jay, but Jay makes an escape. Choi, some of the victim's family members and police chase after him. Choi finally catches Jae, and is stopped from killing him just in time. Lee and Han Ji-so try to kill Jae as he is being led away in handcuffs, but it ends up being Choi who stabs him with Han Ji-so's poison pen when Jae appears not to feel guilty for his crimes. Choi was arrested after that, but his action helped prevent the victims' family members from being convicted of the crime. 5 years later in 2012, when Choi was released from jail to be greeted by the media and the grateful group of victims' family members. It is also mentioned that because of this case, the statute of limitations is extended to 25 years. Thank you for watching, but before leaving, please make sure that you click subscribe and turn on the notification so that you can enjoy watching more videos like this.